Recently, I've talked a lot about my Nintendo Switch collection and the games, my favorite ones for the Switch that I feel you must have if you own a Nintendo Switch console. However, there are a ton of games on the Switch because the Switch is an indie powerhouse. Not every game that you get for your Switch, you have to go pick up at the store. That was loud. I knew it was going to be. I don't know why I did it. I really don't know. Don't worry, the game box is empty. Nothing was hurt in the process of that gag. But with over 5,000 games on the Nintendo Switch eShop, there are plenty of games out there to suit your fancy. Now, however, not all these games are going to be worth your time. I can say that with a fact. However, today I'm starting a series here on the channel where I'm going to pick and choose games that I've personally bought from the Nintendo eShop and have played for myself to show you guys what games have come out recently that are worth time for you to pick up and play on your Nintendo Switch. And I know I am not the first person to have done this kind of video, nor do I care, because everybody's a different kind of gamer. Everybody has their own preferences. What could be in one video may not be in my video because it's not a style of game that I really enjoy. So everybody's got something a little different. So what is going on, everybody? My name is Nico, and today I'm going to talk about some new eShop games that I feel are definitely worth your time on the Nintendo Switch. And if you find this kind of stuff entertaining, if I missed a game, be sure to leave a comment. Also subscribe because we talk Nintendo Switch here constantly. So a lot of fun stuff happening. But again, if you think I missed a game, be sure to leave a comment. That way I can kind of pick and choose and maybe try out the game that you recommend and add in a future iteration of this kind of video. So without further ado, let's get into it. Now, I tried to pull from recent eShop games that have come out, but there are some older ones on here because there's different circumstances regarding them, and I will talk about that when I bring those up. But most of these are fairly recent releases and stuff I feel you should check out right now. So the first game on this list is one that you don't even have to pay for at all, and that is Sky Children of Light. I've recently discovered this game, and when I found it, it was free to play. I downloaded it immediately and wanted to check it out. And this game has an adorable art style and is made by the team behind Journey, and it shows. It is a fun little game where you will adventure out and solve puzzles to return light to different parts of the world. Like Journey, you can encounter other players along the way, and some of the puzzles even require some cooperation between you and other players, which I think is a nice and unique touch. This game is free to play, so microtransactions are a part of the game. However, I've not felt pressured in any way, and I haven't even really had any pop-ups that have really pushed me into purchasing any of the DLC or additional content that you can get for this game, which gives the game bonus points in my opinion. Anytime you can get a free-to-play game that doesn't pressure you and push you toward purchasing anything that it has to offer, I really appreciate that. Next up is a game that came out recently and I am still playing constantly, and that is Cult of the Lamb at a $25 price point. This game is a roguelike with a village sim baked in where you play as a small lamb who has been tasked by a demon overlord to raise a cult in his name, so you will go out on crusades, recruit more woodland critters to your cause, and build up your village. You can perform sermons, sacrifice your followers in the name of the cult, and perform other rituals to gain devotion, which can be used to upgrade your village as well as your combat power. This game has a super cute art style, and I think this helps it get away with its grotesque ideas and features, but this is one I simply cannot get enough of, and I feel it came out at the perfect time because it fits the spooky season vibe with a lot of its themes, and spooky season is just around the corner. And for me personally, this game is in the running to be my personal game of the year, plus the developers have confirmed that free content, updates, and DLC will be planned for the game, which keeps my excitement for it alive. The next game on this list, I have to admit, is one that I captured all the footage for on my Xbox Series X, and that is because I pre-ordered the physical version of this game for the Switch, but it has not yet come out. So I felt okay about sneaking it into this eShop video because obviously we don't have a physical version yet. It's only available on the eShop. So it's kind of sneaky, but I felt it worked. And that game is TMNT Shredder's Revenge. This game is a nostalgic callback to TMNT games of old and gives that classic beat-em-ups feel with a beautiful new art style that pays tribute to classic retro games. Now, admittedly, this game is just that, a beat-em-ups, but it features huge multiplayer options and unlockable characters, which is a plus. The game is a little short, but I feel is definitely worth the price point for $25 if you are into this old style beat 'em ups game. I really enjoyed my time with it, and I plan to replay it when I get my physical version for my Nintendo Switch. Now, the next game isn't really a game, it's a DLC, but I wanted to include it because I really love it, and that is Cuphead: The Delicious Last Course, which also is a fantastic way to play the words of the DLC with the acronym DLC. It was fantastic. They did a great job. Now, admittedly, I am terrible at Cuphead, and it is one of those games that makes me rage beyond belief, but I love the cartoon art style and the soundtrack so much in this game that I had to pick up the DLC. And the nice thing is you can actually access all the DLC content without having to beat the base game. So if you're like me and really suck at Cuphead, you can try out all the new stuff in the new character without having to really get that far. I think you just have to beat the first level. And at an $8 asking point, it's really not that bad if you've already purchased the base game. I believe you can pick up both for around $20 to $30, which I think is fair. Now, Shovel Knight Pocket Dungeon is an older game that I recently picked up for my Nintendo Switch because I caught it on sale, and I wanted to talk about it because I really like this game, so I just decided to include it in this video because it's an eShop game and it's worth talking about. You play as Shovel Knight and an assortment of other characters in this rogue-like experience mixed with a matching game where you line up the enemies correctly and you can destroy multiple at once. The goal is to prevent the board from filling up, so there's definitely a level of strategy to the game, and it can be a bit unforgiving. However, if you find it too challenging, there are difficulty options that you can change and make the gameplay experience more forgiving, allowing anyone to hop in and have a good time playing this one. And coming in at a $20 price point, this is one I'd say is definitely worth trying to catch on sale because of its kind of Tetris style board filling nature. It can get a bit repetitive. Rajin Ancient Epic is another older game that I'm including in this list, and the reason I'm including it is because an updated version of the game is actually coming out this month for it, which will provide an updated graphic version of the game for completely free if you have it already on Nintendo Switch like I do, and I think this game is definitely worth talking about still. At $25, this is a great pickup for the Nintendo Switch, and the gameplay reminds me a lot of older PS2 and PS3 era God of War games, but rather than killing the gods brutally, they will give you powers and weapons throughout the journey. This game is set in ancient India and pulls from Hindu and Balinese mythologies, and I don't know about you all, but I'm a sucker for any game that pulls from different mythologies, whether it's Greek, Norse, or any other pantheology. I'm just really into that kind of stuff, and Raji does a great job providing this really unique and beautiful world and fun gameplay loop. I just really enjoy this one, and it's definitely worth picking up. Bright Memory Infinite is a game that I recently picked up on the Nintendo Switch on the sole reason that the graphics looked phenomenal on the Switch, and they really are. It is one of the most visually impressive Nintendo Switch games I've played, and it accomplishes this without sacrificing performance, which I find very impressive. This game is a first-person shooter with some fun gunplay elements. However, the story is very short. It's like 2 hours, and it's pretty forgettable and confusing, and at $20, this is one I would highly recommend waiting on a sale to pick up, but if you can find it at a decent price, it's worth picking up just to see how good this game runs on the Nintendo Switch. It really is something special. Neon White is a game that I saw at either an Indie Direct or a Nintendo Direct. I can't really remember at this point, to be 100% honest with you, but as soon as I saw it, I knew I wanted to play it. Coming in at $25, this game is more than worth the price point. In this game, you play as a Neon, which is a demon brought up to heaven to prove themselves and compete in a tournament of sorts to kill invading demons and potentially earn yourself a place in heaven. The story of this game was way better than I was anticipating, and I was dedicated to finding out all the secrets of the world and learning more about the characters you encounter within it. Neon White also features multiple endings, which gives it a fair bit of replay value. It is a very anime-esque shooter that reminds me a lot of Doom, but rather than having an arsenal of guns at your disposal, you find these cards throughout each level that provide different weapons and power-ups that help you progress through each level. The game also features a leaderboard system showing all of your friends' times throughout the different levels, which, if you're like me, gives you plenty of motivation to go back and get the best time, so you can text your friends and tell them they suck at the game. It's just something that I love about this game so much. The next game is another one that I reviewed recently on the channel, and that is Kirby's Dream Buffet. This game is a Nintendo licensed Fall Guys in my opinion. You and 3 other Kirbys will compete against each other in a bunch of mini games in order to eat the most strawberries and become the chonkiest Kirby in the lobby. Now, the online does have some issues because for whatever reason in 2022 Nintendo still can't figure out Nintendo Online play, but when it does work, the gameplay's great and it really is a lot of fun. I do think that the $15 asking point is a bit pricey for this one, and truthfully, I feel it would have been better if it launched as a free-to-play title. I know, sue me. I just think when other options like Fall Guys are available, $15 is a tough ask for a game like this, especially because trying to convince friends to play a game like this, which is something you'd likely want to do, is really tough when you have to pay money for it rather than just play Fall Guys for free. But if you can catch it on sale, it is definitely a fun grab, and you can have a lot of fun with this one. The last game on this list is one that dropped recently, and that is Cursed to Golf, and it takes the idea of a golf game and turns it on its head. In this game, you are a golfer who is struck by lightning, killed, and sent to the underworld, and the only way to return to the land of the living is to compete and finish the 18-hole course in the world below. They call this game a golf-like because, like roguelikes, if you fail a hole, you will go all the way back to the start and have to try again. There are a variety of obstacles on each course as well as power-ups at your disposal to help you get the best score you can and progress through the 18 holes. At a $20 asking price, picking up this game is a no-brainer for fans of golf who want a unique new experience. And this wraps up this eShop video for you guys. I feel all these games are unique in their own ways and definitely worth checking out. Some, obviously, if you can catch them on sale. But all of these are really fun, and I did have a good time with each and every one of them. And again, like I said at the start of the video, if I missed one, if you think there is another game that I should check out, be sure to leave a comment below, and it might make its way into a future iteration of this type of video. Also, if you found the video entertaining and helpful, be sure you leave a like, subscribe. Please leave a like because this kind of stuff takes a lot of time between buying all the games and then playing all the games and getting footage for it. These videos take a lot, so any support on the video is really appreciated. I really do like it. Also, be sure to check out Dubby. I got my waifu shaker here. Dubby is an energy drink that you can pick up, 0 sugars, 0 calories, super good. They also, if you're not into energy drinks, they have a new hydration flavor. It's strawberry banana. It's really freaking good. I have some myself. It's fantastic. I drink it all the time, and I cannot recommend this enough. 10% off with code Nico. Be sure to check that out. But that is going to be it for this one, guys, and I hope you found it entertaining. If you want to see more stuff from me, be sure to check out my top Nintendo Switch games that I feel you must have if you own the console. Also, be sure to check out my full review for Xenoblade Chronicles 3. Really fun game that I cannot recommend enough for the Nintendo Switch, so be sure to check that out as well. But like I said, that's going to be it for this video. Thank you all again for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one. Peace.